I'm Catherine and I'm here with Gina. And today we're going to be looking at this source message about life purpose or life journey a little deeper. So I'll read it to you and then Gina and I will launch into our discussion. You can always pause this video if you want to spend some time and look at it yourself before you hit play again. We'll leave that up to you. God's purpose is not stamped. It is more a mission statement for each soul to know its full expression. The expressions are infinite and dynamic. To love, to know the fullness of creation, to serve humanity in the individual or global way matters not the degree, but in the fullness it allows each soul to speak. There is not one language. The soul is always developing. The human lifespan is one of many opportunities to express free will, to love, to God's beauty in watching each soul birth and mature itself. So, what we're going to be doing now is how does this strike you, Gina?
Well, while you're reading it, I'm looking at this picture, and it's kind of a metaphor for most of our lives. It's a kind of a gentle uphill path, you know. It's definitely a challenge, but it's not climbing, a rock face with pitons and harnesses and so
Feels
forth.
like that sometimes, doesn't
Yeah, it does feel like that.
it?
And then there's
Sometimes.
the sun, of course, always um, bright and sort of watching over us, I guess.
Mm.
It's how I look at it.
Wow. Yeah. And when I'm doing writings for clients, uh, and just in general, I too listen to a lot of self-help material and a lot of different people, um, and everybody kind of wants to know what is my life's purpose.
Hmm.
That's a common question
Hmm.
that's addressed in a lot of things that are available out there. And also, as I say, that I encounter with my clients sometimes, well, what's my mission? What am I here for? Because so many of us do want to discover that meaning. And what I like about this is there's not source doesn't stamp a person a mission on us that doesn't say, okay, you are this cookie cutter, you are that cookie cutter. And it's liberating, or can be, I receive it in a liberating way, is that the mission statement is for each of us to come to know our full expression.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that isn't one thing. So when we're looking for a life's purpose, or what am I here to do? What did I come here to do? That it's infinite and dynamic,
Mm.
and that loving and creating and coming to know ourselves is is purpose enough, right? Perhaps. And that, this second or third, whatever, fourth line, to serve humanity in the individual or global ways matters not the degree, but in the fullness that
Mm.
it allows each soul to speak. So to me, this gets to that trap of social comparison, or if we are doing something, is loving my family enough, or do I need to go out and do some big global move, um, that it really is for the fullness of my soul to speak,
Mhm.
because that's where the richness and the power is, right? And we know when people are doing that authentically and when they're not, right? Um, the soul is always developing. And
Mhm.
again, that says that to me is a kind of a liberating idea too, that we're not stuck here,
Mhm.
right? We're not stuck in, I'm kind of here. trying to do my best, and my soul, it has its purpose, and no, we're always developing. We're
Mm-hmm.
always growing. We're always um co-creating, if you would,
Yeah.
as God or source is saying too, is that we are in this dynamic process. So, and I love that it gets back to like our human lifespan. We have lots of opportunities. And I love that this word free will is in there because it
Mm-hmm.
really busts that whole idea that it's one way or one thing
Mm-hmm.
or one right or one and only,
Mm-hmm.
that we can express our free will, we can love. And it's source or God's beauty in watching each soul birth and mature itself.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this thing happening in us, but there's also this cosmic universal love force that's also delighting in that, you know.
Yeah.
Does that
Well
make
put. Well put.
what about any other last ideas that pop out to you? I love how you zeroed in on the
Yeah,
photo.
I think about how our culture today is so driven by achievement.
Mm,
That if you're not a lawyer or a doctor, or, you're sort of not up to par, you know.
mm,
And this has, I don't think I've read anything in the writings that talk about that kind of achievement. In terms of career. In fact, I've never seen it in
mm,
writings, which is not to say that achievement is bad. I mean, it's obviously great. I wish I were an overachiever in some ways, but it's more about, as this says, to be the fullness of our spirit. Yeah,
mhm. Right.
that's what I think.
And I also like the freedom that it puts, or the spaciousness in that there's not one language,
Yeah.
that it is for us, our soul to speak, but
Mm-hmm.
there's not one language of that. And so to me, I don't know how it's hitting me in this particular moment, is there's no one who is less or more, no spiritual um path over the other, or
Mm-hmm.
no soul that that there are so many ways that soul speaks to us,
Yeah.
um and moves within us,
Mm-hmm.
you know um
Yeah, and I try to remind myself of that when I come across a person that I don't get why they're taking that stance or the other stance. I just, okay, breathe, breathe, realize they have their own
right,
perspective, their own point of view, and you have yours.
yeah, and that soul is comes into this realm, is
Yeah,
birthed into this realm, and that there's a maturation going on, even despite how it may look like, just tell me, just give me my special purpose and I'll do it.
yeah.
Let me know it, and then I'll just march in that direction. And yet it is this expression which changes. And you and I have the luxury of having a lot more life behind us probably than we have left
Mm.
ahead of us. Let's hope it's longer, but anyway, that we are these dynamic beings, and we are maturing, hopefully. Yes. So thanks, Gina. That's what we wish you to do, is feel free to pause this at any point in the end, or just don't end it. And it's not necessarily what it speaks to the two of us, but we really invite you to engage with it and see what it opens up within you. And hopefully your soul is speaking to you. And more importantly, you have the heart and the graciousness and generosity with yourself to hear it speak, and let that be enough. So thank you for this and other soul messages. Please take a listen, subscribe, or go back to the website and check out the other source messages that are available there. Thank you.